Good morning, guys. Guess here's some interesting stuff. I guess you take some caffeine, 200 milligram caffeine. So one interesting thing, I really suck at swallowing pills. I shouldn't have recorded this because it's embarrassing how bad I am at it. There we go. One interesting thing is that the drillers are still there. I thought, maybe some of you thought, be done by now. I mean, I thought they'd be done a long time ago, but it wasn't helped by the fact that they sort of went quiet. They went Bravo 6 going dark. They went Bravo 6 going dark for a bit. But then they went not dark again, right? A couple days ago. Let me explain what I actually mean. So I guess they were always there, but for a while they just stopped making loud noises very often. And so I thought, oh, I guess they're just not going to make loud noises anymore. That's good. But it wasn't the case. This was all a trick. It was all a big trick played on me by, well, I'll leave that up to you. But more importantly, I need some sort of tray with which. That's a tray. Seems to be one already in the oven. That's good. So that's number one. Drillers have been here for about a year now. It's a year. Everyone's pissed off. Everyone hates them. It's so bad that my downstairs neighbor moved out because they couldn't cope. So that's number one. Number two, I've discovered something very dangerous. And that something very dangerous is this stuff. Kahlua. I have discovered a drink known as a Black Russian. Now, I would have made White Russians because I'm a huge fan of the movie The Big Lebowski, but don't have any cream, and I don't think that would taste very good, to be honest. So instead, making Black Russians, which are basically just White Russians without the cream. I mean, they're not basically that, they are literally that. And it's a very dangerous drink because it's almost all vodka, and you don't taste it. It's almost all vodka, but you can just drink it like it's nothing. Very dangerous. Also, okay, so I have a weird thing where, like, caffeine, right? You ever heard of that? You ever heard of caffeine? Bit of a weird thing, right? But caffeine, like, I just took 200 milligrams in the morning. That's like the maximum dose you can take at once, pretty much. And it doesn't make me go super crazy or anything. It's just, you know, wakes me up. Like, I'm not super caffeine sensitive. Not super caffeine sensitive. But if I have any caffeine before sleeping, I won't be like buzzing, but I'll just not get tired. Like, I'll just, sorry, that's not even the right thing. I'll get tired, but I just won't be able to sleep. Um, Even if I just have a small amount of caffeine, which is another reason to not drink Black Russians, because Kahlua has a fairly small amount of caffeine in it, but caffeine nonetheless. As I showed last night when I failed to fall asleep at a reasonable time. But on the other hand, tonight, possibly, today, I think I'm going to be trying to stay up for a long time because it's getting silly, right? It's like, what, 4:15? I only just woke up, you know? I'm personally not too fussed about 4:15, just woke up. But the world is kind of fussed about it, There's stuff that needs doing, and if I'm asleep, I can't do it. So, today I try and stay awake for a really long time, which is you'll be coming with me through my journey, and I believe some Black Russians might be helpful in this journey. I might go out and buy a couple of Red Bulls. That might actually be the play. That's actually a pretty optimal play. If I go out and buy a couple of Red Bulls. Alright, well, that'll happen at some point after breakfast. Now, for the third thing to talk about. Breakfast. Now, here's the thing. I was planning on having... Okay, there's a lot of fucking factors involved here. There's so many different factors. Fuck, shit, bitch. What's the date today? Let's find out. Do you know what? I haven't even turned my ThinkPad on. That's how morning it is. That's how close it is to when I just woke up. I haven't even turned my ThinkPad on. So, let's do that. ThinkPad. Artix Linux. And there we have it, a computer. I'm gonna put you down here so you don't see my password real quick. Although you might be able to figure out. Maybe if you have some advanced hearing, you could fucking typed it wrong, didn't I? There you go. Maybe if you had some advanced hearing, you could like figure out something crazy, like, you know, but whatever. So it is Thursday, October 28th. Alright, that's actually not too bad. That's not too bad. Look at my new wallpaper. Oh yeah, there was an update to Qt browser. Let's see what the changelog is. Security, fixed arbitrary command execution on Windows. Okay, well that's good for them. New content.blocking.host.subdomains. Your settings can be used to disable subdomain blocking for host ad blocking. Okay. Downloads.prevent mixed content. Setting to prevent insecure mixed content downloads. True by default. That's good. Good default as well. New -- private tag for tab clone. Close a tab into a private window, mirroring the same flags for over and tab give. Okay, those are all good features to add. Fixed. Switching tabs via mouse wheel scrolling now works properly on Mac OS. Blah blah blah. Speculative fix for a crash when closing Qt browser while a sys-tray notification is shown. Interesting. Changed. Typing in the file name prompt now filters matching directories. I don't know what that means. Maybe that's for like downloading stuff or typing in the file name prompt. What's the file name prompt? I'm not sure. When opening a file, Qt browser can't handle from a file : / directory listing. Qt browser now opens it with the default application rather than displaying a download prompt. Interesting. In Grease Monkey scripts, using override MIME type with hint rapid is now supported for tab hinting target, no matter what tabs or background is set to, as there is various scenarios where tabs can be opened in the background. New flags for the QtPass user script. Well, I don't use that, so although I probably could if I was bothered to set it up, but I'm not. In insert mode, shift escape is bound to fake key escape by default, i.e. send the escape key press to the website. That's good. I like that. Using GM set clipboard in Grease Monkey scripts is now supported. Okay, well I don't know what a lot of those mean, so well, there you go. Don't know why I did that. Don't know why I just read the entire change. I like reading changelogs. It's one of the few pleasures in life, you know. I really like reading changelogs. It's actually really fun. Okay. So my conundrum is that I have some bacon in the fridge. I have way too much bacon in the fridge, actually. I have too much bacon in the fridge, and it's gonna go off at some point. I don't want to eat it because bacon costs money and is good. But also, I've kept having other things to eat instead, which is annoying. Now, I was planning to have a bacon sandwich for breakfast. As you can see from the fact that I put some toast in the toaster and toasted it. But now, I just remembered, you know what else is in the fridge? A pizza. And I kind of want pizza for breakfast now. So, there do be struggles in life. There do be struggles in this life. Where I can't decide if I want a bacon sandwich or pizza. Two not particularly healthy choices. And the problem is, that's even worse, is that I'll probably end up having both today. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna have pizza, and here's why. Because pizza is a lot of carbs, right? A lot of calories, carbs. And if I eat them in the morning, well, it's not the morning at all, but when I just wake up, then theoretically, that should mean that I have the most time awake, which is you burn more calories when you're awake than when you're not awake. So, that's my logic. I would look at how many calories are in this, but I do not have the packaging anymore. I like a good pizza like this. People tell me, you should just make your own pizza. It's not that difficult. You're right. It's not that difficult. But it's even less difficult, and pretty much just as good, is just eating a pizza like this. Just a pre-made frozen one. Well, this isn't frozen, but you know what I mean. Now, I really hope this tray is big enough, because it doesn't, my eyes are telling me it's not. And my eyes are correct. Fuck. Okay, well now I don't know what to do. I guess, see, this is the problem, is I put that in when I thought I was making bacon, but I'm not making bacon, I'm making pizza now. So I have to put the pizza one in, which is circular, round, and big enough to fit over the whole thing. I love doing this. Come on, guys. You kidding me? You kidding me? Yeah, anyway. I gotta put this in now to get hot. It's gonna take forever. It's gonna take forever to get hot. So now, what the fuck do I do now? Come on, guys. Come on. Now with this boiling hot fucking thing, move that a little bit. Oh, whatever. Fuck it. It's fine. It's all fine. I'll come back in like 15 minutes or whatever. Probably be heated up by then. It'll be all good. Watch the latest Dotes OSRS video. By the time it's done, we'll have pizza or whatever. So I spent all this money on a keyboard, and it's an amazing keyboard sometimes-ish, but I feel like it's not. Okay, I need to stop impulse buying stuff, is the point. But, okay, the basic problem is, when I bought the keyboard, I was getting really heavily back into CSGO. I was really heavily back into CSGO. I was banging it out, right? And then, pretty much as soon as I bought the keyboard, I lost interest in CSGO. And now I barely use my Mac. So, the only thing I have... So I don't have a use for this keyboard right now, so it just sits here, plugged into my Mac, doing nothing. And I was thinking, I need to not... what if there's a better way? Because I was doing a lot of thinking recently about software and about music, and I think, like, I've kind of this is a bit dweep to talk about right at the beginning of this video, but there's a part of me that's gone a little bored of making music, right? I haven't made that much music recently. I have a fucking EP sitting on this computer that is good, but I don't have a front cover, and so I haven't, or a name. I mean, I have a name, but I have a cover, so I haven't released it because I don't have a fucking cover, and I can't think of any ideas to make a good front cover for it, or album cover. You know what I mean? And it's a good EP. It's genuinely good, like, weird post-black metal, but it's like, yeah, I don't have a front cover for it. So that's not happening. Eventually it'll happen. I guess I don't know what to do. Like, I think I don't know. Maybe I just draw an anime girl and put that as the front cover. Fuck it, But it doesn't go at all with what's inside. Maybe I just go to the forest, take a picture of the forest, go on Google, find a picture of a forest, turn it on black and white, It's black metal after all. I know. If you have any front cover designs, I will pay you. That's a lie. I'm broke. I'm not gonna pay you. I might if it's really good. If I decide to use it, I'll pay you. You know, if I decide to use it, I'll give you. You know, it's not like I make much money off of these albums. So what's a reasonable amount to? I don't know, 20 quid or something. I'm not sure if I'll actually do that. So don't listen to me, because 20 quid is. Well, I spent 36 quid on this. So maybe I should just. I don't know. No one's even heard the album, so if I ask you to make an album cover for an album you've never heard, you're just gonna be like, what, you know? Unless you're on Patreon, in which case you've heard some tracks from the album if you listen to some of my Patreon stuff. But yeah, that's a thing. But yeah, I haven't really been making much new music. I went for a very brief phase where I made grime instrumentals, and that was fun. And here, I'll play you some. Yeah, go away, fuck off. Here, grime instrumentals. The bass on this computer sucks, so you can't really hear it very well, but... Record a bit. So that's a song. I made this one. This is a bit loud, this one. So yeah, that's a thing I made. Did I make this? When did I make this? Oh, this one's alright. Yeah, that one's alright. Is this one more chill one? This one? Oh, just listen to that one. This one? I made this a while ago. Anyway, that's enough of that. So I made some grime instrumentals, but then I got bored of that because I'm fucking ADHD and I can't do anything for a long time or I get bored. And then I haven't really made anything since. I mean, I made a couple things, but nothing good. Like, I made this just for a friend, which is like a remix of something from Non Non Biori. normie drum and bass because their friends kind of got normie music taste. I don't know if that person even likes drum and bass, but hey. Made some black metal. Here, black metal. But never finished that song. Made this terrible mashup. Yeah, it's Triple Backer and somebody that I used to know. And that's pretty much all I've made. That's pretty much it. Rest of it's kind of shit. But yeah, I have this fucking EP that I don't have an album cover for. Anyway, the point being of all of that, that I think one of the reasons I've gone bored of making music is because I just do the same. Well, it's not the same thing, but I've spent like what, almost 10 years using Logic to make music on, which means I'm incredibly fast at it. But it also means that it's I just have certain patterns that I get stuck into. Like if I want to record bass guitar, like distorted bass guitar, like I know I have a sound that I've set. Like I have a preset that I made that makes my bass guitar sound like the bass guitars in dead form, basically, which that I like, and so it's like, okay, well that makes it really fast to make that, but it also takes out a whole bunch of creativity because I can't say it sounds bad, it sounds good, but then if I just default to using that sound that I know I like, then I only make a certain type of music, and it's like, oh, if I want to do drums, well I've done drums in this particular way for years, and like, oh, if I want to make a melody, like I've made this particular kind of melody for years in this particular way, and it's like I feel like I'm just getting stuck in ruts. And as they say, if you want to change the outcome, you have to change the method. And so I'm thinking maybe, try, because I've always wanted to, just make music on this baby. I've heard Ardor is good. I haven't really given Ardor a fair shot. I've tried LMMS. LMMS is not very good. So I want to try giving Ardor a shot, Sunvox a shot. Other DAWs and stuff. Yeah, just I want to try making different things, more experimental stuff, because I'm disappointed in myself for becoming too poppy. That one song I made, Be Your Anchor or whatever I called it, one of the worst songs I've ever made. Makes me depressed to listen to it because it's like terrible poppy shit. And so yeah, and my other songs are also too poppy. Everything's too poppy. Need to do more drugs. Need to get more experimental. And I'm thinking a good way to get experimental is to do stuff in a program I'm not very familiar with, and just make some crazy shit, Because it would be super cool, not having to own an Apple product, especially since I haven't been playing much CSGO recently. Like, if I could just do everything on a ThinkPad running GNU/Linux, or as I've recently taken to calling it, GNU plus Linux, that would be amazing. Anyway, I'm gonna go make pizza now. While my pizza is in the oven, I suppose I will talk about this. So yesterday, and a little bit the day before yesterday, I watched what I think might be one of my favorite YouTube videos of all time. Now, new YouTube video, best YouTube video, and I guess it kind of stretches the definition because technically it's like 7 different YouTube videos, but they were all originally meant to be one video, but YouTube basically forced him to split them up into a playlist. But they were all originally meant to be one long video. But anyway, that being said, So let's get down to business, guys. Get down to business. So this is the Action Button review of Cyberpunk 2077. It's 10 hours long, and it's arguably the best video on YouTube. Don't know if any of you guys will know what I'm talking about, but I would say it's at least on par, if not superior than the Horseshoe Saga. Probably superior. Maybe. When I make a 10-hour video, it's just unscripted nothing for 10 hours. When he makes a 10-hour video, well, it's a lot of work. The whole thing's fully edited and scripted. Required multiple playthroughs, full 100% playthroughs of Cyberpunk, and that's what a normal reviewer would do. Is maybe a normal good reviewer might play through the game a couple times, might edit a review. Hold on, whoa! They just steamed up completely. I need to check if my pizza's done. It's looking alright. A little bit longer, I would say. So yeah, a normal reviewer might do that, but he not only played the game, researched the game, played every Cyberpunk game he could think of, which is a lot of games. That's a lot of games, guys. Played every Cyberpunk game, played every CD Projekt Red game, read a lot of Cyberpunk books, watched a lot of Cyberpunk movies, read every review that was already out for Cyberpunk 2077, and yeah, it's a good video. It's very well researched, and it's got very good points. Only one bit I don't like. In the entire 10 hours, there's about a 2-minute joke. Or like maybe like a 1 minute, less than 30 seconds of the whole thing that I don't like, which is when he makes a joke in praise of John Oliver. That's the only part of the entire 10 hours that I don't like. And even that wasn't that bad, because it was John Oliver doing a fairly good thing. But anyway. Yeah, it's a good video, you should watch it, it's the best video on YouTube. Oh, I forgot to mention that this is just the final step in the lead up to this video, which included a review, like very long, like multi-hour long reviews. In order to get to Cyberpunk, he had to review the Final Fantasy VII Remake, Pac-Man, the original Pac-Man, The Last of Us 1, wait, there was another one. There's another old one. Don't remember. Tokimeki Memorial, which is a dating sim, that video is 6 hours long, by the way. Just in case you thought he was slacking, the Tokimeki Memorial video is like 6 hours long. He reviewed one other fucking game. The Last of Us, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Pac-Man, Tokimeki Memorial, and I'm pretty sure there's another one that I'm forgetting. Hold on a minute. Last of Us. Oh, Doom. The original Doom. Yeah. So he had to review all of those just to have enough context to talk about Cyberpunk 2077. Because, for example, Cyberpunk 2077 has a lot of branching dialogue options. So he had to talk about Tokimeki Memorial to really understand the branching dialogue options. Cyberpunk 2077 has a lot of sort of cinematic character stuff, story stuff. Last of Us. Cyberpunk 2077 has a lot of game-breaking bugs. Pac-Man has the ultimate game-breaking bug. And a lot of shooting. Doom. You know what I'm talking about. I think the pizza might be done. That looks pretty done to me. Feels pretty done to me. I'm gonna call it done. Look how much bigger it is in my plate. But it's very thin, so don't worry about it. I'm fat, but I don't have an excuse. I'm eating pizza for breakfast at fucking 5 o'clock. Do you know what? Maybe it's best to cut this on a chopping board and then somehow try and move it onto the plate. I have a pizza cutter. You don't want a pizza cutter at home. They don't work at home. They only work in a pizza restaurant. I'm gonna try and... Oops. Try and do it like this. Try and do one of these maneuvers. Did that work very well? No, it did not. It did not work very well. Okay, let's bring out the pizza cutter. God knows where that is. So, you might, if you've seen the Action Button review of Cyberpunk 2077, if you're one of the lucky few that saw it, well, you might be asking me, hold on, you weren't supposed to watch all 10 hours. And I say, fuck you. Here's the dealio. So it's an experimental, weird video, where the first video is basically an hour-long introduction to the rest of the videos, which goes, it's like an introductory chapter. It's an hour long, and in that video, he basically says, okay, now there are 7 different alternate paths you can choose, just like a choose-your-own-adventure story or some sort of video game, and you pick which 2 videos you want to watch, and then you watch those 2 videos, no more, and then go to the last video. Now, that's what I did at first. And the first video I watched, well, spoiler alert, I don't want to spoil it, but I'll just say there's one video out of all of the other videos that is very much not like the others. It's much shorter for reasons. And you'll know if you've seen it, and if you haven't seen it, I guess you'll find out, I don't know. But there's one video that's much shorter for reasons. And in that video, he basically says, actually, even though I keep telling you to just watch 2 of these, I actually really want you to watch all of them. So I was like, okay, I'll just watch all of them. And so I watched all of them. And it was a lot. It was definitely a lot. I basically just spent 10 hours straight watching a man talk about a video game that I've never played and have no intention of playing. And it wasn't even a good one. It wasn't even a good video game. That's the thing about it. It's a video game that is not that good. But yeah, great video. Or video series, I don't know what to call it. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm a big fan of overly long YouTube videos. I finally managed to cut my pizza into bits. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of overly long YouTube videos. And, you know what? Actually, I'll talk about that more once I've eaten my pizza. I just want to talk about briefly, before I talk about overly long YouTube videos, why the difference between K-pop fans and anime fans, because I've seen them compared and it gets me mad. Now, they're compared because they're both East Asian subcultures with, tightly knit sort of fan communities in the West, and they both have sort of media focused on women, like cute girls in terms of anime, and obviously K-pop idols in terms of K-pop, and they're both, kind of a little more sparkly, I guess, would be a word, than their American counterparts. A little more... Talking specifically about moe anime here, obviously there's not really much of a relation between K-pop fans and shonen fans or something like that, but I'm talking about, like, your cute girls anime, your standard stuff that I like. I've seen us compared, and obviously being compared to a subhuman like a K-pop fan is it's not pleasant for me, not an experience I enjoy. So I want to, not that anyone is going to see this, but just a brief explanation of a difference, a key difference as to why K-pop is disgusting, degenerate, fucking bullshit, whereas anime is wholesome, pure, and amazing. Let's compare the two. So here, I have just got up a random. I just typed in K-pop, and just clicked on a video that had lots of views. Hopefully this video doesn't get taken down for copyright or whatever. I'll just sort of cover it with my hand and hope. Basically, my point is, if you look at it, if you look at the dances and stuff, they're all very sexualized, right? It's just Kuma shit, right? It's just you get a bunch of like Korean bimbos. You make them do sexy dances, and then Kuma's like, look, like how is this not Kuma shit, right? It's very obviously Kuma shit, right? And there's anime that's Kuma shit too. Kumas are always gonna have their. It's like the easiest possible marketing because it just you're gonna sell stuff. The Kumas are gonna love it, right? But Kumas are also disgusting people, right? Like the sort of person who is really attracted to these fucking plastic surgery corporate sellout Korean harlots is not, they're not sending their best. I'll put it that way. Whereas if we take a look at a similar piece of music from an anime, here's a popular anime, Gotcha Yusa, and here's a piece of music from Gotcha Yusa. Now look at this. There's nothing sexualized at all. It's just a bunch of cute girls doing a little dance, right? Now some of the idol shows they're sexualized, and now I don't like idol shows because the music sucks, but it's just cute girls dancing and having a good wholesome time hanging out together. Look, a rabbit being mofu'd. There's Chino. She's cute. Look, this is all nice stuff happening. It makes you calm, makes you happy. This is designed by the CIA. This is designed by the CIA. This is designed by a friend. This is designed by the CIA. This is designed by a friend. Right? That's the difference between K-pop and anime. One of them was designed by the CIA, and one of them was designed by a friend. And so, yeah. I don't want to see this bullshit anymore. Comparing K-pop fans and otaku, right? Because clearly, otaku are superior. They're my in-group, so they must be. Man. I can't believe people who like K-pop exist. It's just... Oh, man. It's so saddening. It's so saddening, Anyway. Pound for pound, minute for minute, second for second, my main hobby by far is watching YouTube videos, right? Which is kind of sad when you think about it. But, like, I spend way more time watching YouTube videos than I do listening to music, making music, playing video games. I'm not really much of a gamer. I'm really not a gamer at all. I'm not much of a gamer. I'm just not a gamer. I don't really like video games that much. Like, I sometimes played Minecraft when I was a kid. Don't really play it anymore. I don't find video games fun, really. Like, not in the traditional way that video games are supposed to be fun. I generally don't find that very fun. Like, I don't know, just not really very into games. Like, the things I like about games is using them as, like, basically for stimming, right? Like, I like CSGO because I don't even play CSGO anymore, really. Like, I'm slowly sort of not really that interested in CS anymore. But, like, the reason I liked it is because I could just basically just stim for a while by doing the same thing every round. Like, it's not like I play CSGO how it's meant to be played. Like, the fun I get out of it is nothing to do with how the game, like, how most people get fun out of CSGO. Like, I don't really care about getting kills or winning or ranking up or any of that. I just like the movement. Like, that's really the only thing I care about is the satisfying motion of going from T-spawn nuke up to the top of Silo. That's pretty much, and down, and then down to, the route, the nuke T-side route that everyone knows. Like that's what I like about CS:GO. I played a bit of HNS for a while. Kind of got bored of it because I'm very, everyone who plays HNS has been playing for years, and I have not, so I'm very bad at it. And there's a lot of downtime in HNS, and a lot of weird rules. But anyway, HNS is fun. But I don't really like video games. Like I don't. The only video games I've put any serious time into is CS:GO. Again, maybe about 500 of those hours was when I first started playing, and I was taking it seriously and playing the game as it meant to be played. And then after that, most of the rest of the time is basically playing it like a super casual game, I guess. Completely not getting the fun that you're supposed to get out of CS:GO. Like, it's not that I didn't enjoy myself. It's that the way I enjoyed myself had almost nothing to do with the game, basically. Or like Mario 64. Like, yeah, I played through Mario 64 and it's a great game. I got, without doing any speedrun strats or anything, I got like 120 stars blind. Well, not actually blind because I'm very, very familiar with the game, but got 120 stars and whatever. And it was fun. But then most of the time I spent in Mario 64 was just, practicing Bomb Clip for a speedrun I'm never going to do. Practicing Owlers for a speedrun I'm never going to do. Practicing BLJs. Just because, again, they're satisfying movements, right? No, it's not really a video game. Like, the part I enjoy about it is not really the video game part. It's just that bit, Like, getting better at a skill that you can... that is satisfying to pull off, but not like in a video gamey way, not in a way that a game would ever expect you to get better at a skill. Like no game that isn't like some weird Kaizo thing would ever expect a player to be as good as it requires you to be to do like Owlers consistently, right? Like no game would ever require that of a player. I don't know. I'm just not much of a, I don't know, like, and even Mario 6, I haven't played Mario 64 in months. I haven't really played CS:GO in a while. Like, I guess I played some Half-Life back in the day. That was fun. Portal 1, fun game. But, yeah, not much of a gamer, really. Don't play games. I just watch YouTube videos all day. Don't even watch that much anime anymore. Used to watch a lot of anime. Watch a little bit of anime. Read a little bit of visual novels from time to time, but not as into it as I was once. Yeah, I read Subahebe, and I was like, wow, visual novels are amazing. And then I realized there's no other visual novels that are as good as Subahebe. So, they're fine, they're fun, but it's basically just reading a book. But I have better books I should be reading that I'm not. Maybe I'll try and get some reading done today. This is a good book, but I still not very... I haven't been reading it because I'm lazy fuck. But yeah. But I guess the other thing I do is like tinkering with my fucking Linux thing. No, I don't want that to happen right now. And I guess that's just like a male instinct. I feel like that's a male instinct. Like you ever seen the YouTube channel Townsend's? Great YouTube channel if you haven't watched them. They do a lot of like 17th century America stuff, basically like cooking and building and stuff like that. And like the way that I see them, like they basically built a log cabin, like or like a wooden cabin, from scratch. And the way that I see them just sort of like maintaining the cabin, because you need to maintain it, right? Like it has like wattle and daub and stuff like that, and slowly improving it. Like they started off with I think they had like a thatch roof at first, and then they changed it to a shale roof or something. I don't remember exactly what happened, but it's, adding furniture, getting stuff slightly like that's what I do with this. It's the same instinct. It's the same, like that's what I realized. I was like, yeah, it's just that I think there's just some deep ancestral male instinct that I want to like build something and maintain it that I actually use, and it's not really practical to build a house, although I would like to. So I just do this instead, you know. Hey, I can make my computer look slightly better in this way. It's the same thing as like, you know, maybe buying some flowers or picking some flowers and putting them in the window or something. You know, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need a window in your house. You can build a little cabin with no windows. And glass is expensive. But think about how cool it would be to have a window. So you go through the effort to put a window in your house, right? It's the same, you know, you don't need to have, I don't know, whatever, a properly riced terminal window or whatever. But think about how nice it would look. That's essentially, I think, why I like it. But you know, that's not like a. I guess that's a hobby, but you can't spend all day doing it on something breaks. Uh, there's a YouTuber called Van Neistat, Casey Neistat's brother, and he was going through a rough week. He made a video. He was going through a rough week, and his motorcycle broke. And he said that was the highlight of the week because now he got to fix his motorcycle. Or truck. I don't remember if it was motorbike or truck. Because now he got to fix. I think it was his motorbike. Now he got to fix it, right? That's that's the same thing. It's just a tinkerer mindset, you know. I think it's a very male thing. I don't know. It strikes me as kind of a male trait. But anyway, uh, but yeah, that's not like a hobby that I spend a lot of time doing. I mean, I do spend probably more than enough time tinkering with my computer, but you know, not like it's not like I know how to program or anything. Like I'm not actually doing anything useful or create. Well, I guess a little bit, but yeah, compared to the amount of time I spend on YouTube, it's nothing. Uh, so yeah, most of what I do all day is watch YouTube videos, and it's interesting. It's interesting, like like at first when I thought about this, I mean I've realized it before, but when I tried to give it some thought, I was like, this is really bad, you know. Like YouTube is just Zoomer TV, so it's basically just like imagine if you're just sitting all day in front of the TV, like it's not good. But there are like the difference is that on TV, the biggest difference between YouTube and TV is that, and by TV I mean including like Netflix and stuff like that, because that's basically the same thing. And I guess I could even say TV and film. But yeah, the difference is that you're never going to watch a TV show that wasn't made for profit, really. Everything has to be made for profit. Whereas I watch loads of YouTubers who definitely don't make money off of this. Like they don't want to make money, and they don't make money. Maybe they make a tiny bit on the side, but not enough to fund the series they're making. You know, like Olo Lily is one of my favorite YouTubers, and yeah, he has a Patreon, but you know, he has a job as well. Like it's kind of like a small independent artist or whatever, like a little who has a job but makes a little money on the side of their art. That's one of the, and those often are my favorite YouTubers. Whereas you can't get that on TV. There's no small independent TV channels that just use like there's no thing. Uh, so that's one advantage because you can get more interesting things that way. Another advantage, obviously, you can choose what to watch. More so, you have a wider array of choices and stuff like that. The content is more varied. Uh, but I don't know. It's at the same time. I don't know. It's kind of like if someone. It's weird because like TV is disposable entertainment most of the time. Even what is considered prestige TV shows are not really very good most of the time. Like they're kind of they're like, how do I put them? They're not Kino. They're not Kino, right? They're like a um like a good TV show, like a prestige TV drama that's all popular and stuff. They're generally kind of like mid tier, right? They're mid tier. They're like I don't know. Yeah. compared to like, so if someone just sits around watching TV all day, that's like, don't do that. But if someone was like, yeah, I just watch films all day, I'm really into film, like that would be a different story, right? Because then it's like, oh well, films, like if someone watches films all day, they probably, I mean, they might be, but when I think of that, something like that, I think of someone who's like really into film and like watches like obscure foreign films, artsy foreign films and stuff. Like to me, that is something, uh, like that's a good thing. That's cool, right? So it's like you want to make your YouTube viewing habits artsy film person watcher rather than uh, TV watcher. That's the goal. Is you wanna do that. Now, I mean, throw in other stuff as well. I don't know, but mine's just a mixture of everything. It's just like my sub feed is like what have I got here? Cooking video, uh, advert, just a straight up ad for a video game, like a sponsored video. Uh, edutainment video, um, science edutainment video, guitar, Brandon Acker, if you know who that is, guitar historical musician, I guess would be the word. Uh, then the Donut Man Can shouts out. Uh, then what? A, a premiere notification for a documentary coming out tomorrow. Uh, XQC reacts. Why do I watch this? I don't watch this shit. Most of the time I don't watch this shit. Pan and Coic, like that's a fucking base channel, right? Like that's what it's all about. Electro on Nick Land's philosophy of, uh, I don't know if it's Electro or what. Is this just a text to speak? Yeah, this is just a text to speak of his blog post about it. uh, but yeah, uh, some stuff. Like none of it's like super great, but none of it's bad. Like okay, some of it's bad. I can't really justify being an XQC viewer. Like there's no justification for that. Like that's pretty awful. Um, yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of depressing. Is the point? The point is, it's kind of depressing because the thing about YouTube is it's the only thing I can do 100% of the time. Um, like, you know, you have to be in a creative mindset to make music or draw. You have to be in a mind. You have to have, you know, drive and effort to play a video game or whatever. But you don't have to do anything to watch YouTube. It just happens. Glasses. Don't want to forget the glasses. It's all the branding I have. It's all I have left. So, a couple of things of note. Firstly, it seems my plan for alright, okay. It seems my plan to stay up for a really long time today is not a good idea because it seems my mum has some friends coming over tomorrow at 6 p.m. and they'll probably be making a lot of noise, laughing and having fun and whatever, which is while I'll be trying to sleep probably. I don't think I'm going to make it that far. So, yeah. um, there's that. So that's probably not going to happen. Maybe I'll have to save that for another day. And then, yeah, that's the main. That's it. Also, I need to eat something, but I don't know what to eat. So that's a thing. And ideally, I would just have some like, man. There's nothing wrong with my rice cooker. Like it just makes everything taste bad. Like tastes like makes the rice taste like something you shouldn't eat. Like it gives it like a weird chemically taste, and it smells really like weird, like something is burning, but the rice isn't burning. So something is wrong. I think it's broken. I guess I could make rice the old-fashioned way in a pot, but for some reason I find that with short grain rice, which is the type of rice I like, it doesn't work very well. I don't know why, but I just find that. I guess there are many ways to do it, so I could just use. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe just some rice and veg and some eggs or something. Like I don't know, something like that might be an idea. Anyway, food aside, um, so I have a history of watching overly long YouTube videos. In fact, that may be, yeah, that's just the thing I like doing. I like watching very long YouTube videos or series. On here, for example, as a backup for YouTube, if it ever goes down or whatever, I have every single Digibros Let's Play. All of them, they're stored on here. So if Vic ever takes them down, by the way, you can hit me up because I have them all here. You know what? I'll prove it to you. I can't really fucking see the screen with my sunglasses on. Can you see that? Can you see that? All right. There you go. It's better. There you go. Pro YouTuber here watching Sonic videos. I don't know what. Let's see. Oh yeah, I was gonna play this video game. Good video game. Let me Oh yeah, look, you like my wallpaper? Yeah, it's TK Miz wallpaper. Oh yeah, embarrassing moment incoming. I'm about to use a GNOME program. Yeah, I'm using a GNOME program. I actually use GNOME disks because I can't be bothered to, I've never been bothered to look up how to mount a disk properly, and it doesn't do it automatically, so I just use GNOME disks to mount my disks. It seems to be not doing it so well. That's pop. Something's gone wrong here. This is, oh dear. Well, that's not ideal. What have I done? Okay, well, let's uh, uh, well, I didn't do anything, but it seems to have sorted itself out. I'm not sure what happened there. This is what happens when you use GNOME utilities. They go badly. But here's my external hard drive. It has a few visual novels and animes on it. But as you can see, here is every single Digibros Let's Play. Oh, I want to watch Odalis, Digibros Odalis episode 2. Here we go. Here's Digibros playing Odalis episode 2. Oh, actually I've changed my mind. I want to watch the Digibros Onimusha Let's Play episode 3. Thank you guys. Anyway, let's get rid of this. I don't need this. The point being, I've watched almost all of those. That's what the point being is. I've watched almost all of those. Whatever I was talking about before, don't really remember. I think I mentioned Digibos. The point being, I love watching overly long YouTube videos. I loved watching that one, like, what is it, like 6 hours long, 7 hours long review of a Pokemon game. I loved the Digi's Crib video, which is like 5 hours long. I make overly long YouTube videos because those are the things I like to watch. So I put them into the world because there aren't enough of them. I liked the Tokimeki Memorial video by Action Button Reviews. I liked the Horseshoe Saga, which is a series that's like 24 hours long, or 12 hours long. I liked that one episode of the RFCK podcast that was like 4 hours long of them playing Pop Tropica. Listen to that in one sitting. All of these are one sitting jobbies. I'm not talking about stuff that took me days, or like that, like, oh, I watch a video once every couple of days, once every day I watch a little bit of it. No, I'm talking about stuff that I sat down and just watched, right? Yeah, one sitting long YouTube videos. I like watching them. I forget what the fuck I was just talking about because I had to pause for a second. Right now I'm watching a 3-part series about Sonic the Hedgehog. That's like 4 hours, 5 hours long or something. The description starts with, "No, I don't have a girlfriend. Why do you ask?" Which is how you know it's a good series of videos. But yeah, that's good. I like doing that. And so that's why the Action Button review of Cyberpunk 2077 is maybe the best video / series on YouTube. Or it's probably the best game analysis on YouTube. It's very good. It's very in depth. Guy is a good, experienced. He's an experienced game reviewer, I think. I mean, I don't think I know that. That's a fact. He's worked in the industry on both sides, creating, QA testing, reviewing for Kotaku.com, but the good ones. I'm telling you, because Kotaku is generally of poor quality, right? But I implore you to go on their YouTube channel and watch his review. Tim Rogers is his name, of Dragon Quest XI. It's really good. Makes me want to play Dragon Quest XI, which is something that, like, I don't like. As I said before, not a gamer. Don't really like video games that much. Like watching reviews and analysis of video games. Oh, here's another long videos I like. Joseph Anderson and Thingy Gervais. What's not Ricky? Lewis Caldwell Gervais, is that his name? Something like that. Yeah, I think that's his name. Like, I like those, right, a lot. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I recommend watching. Yeah, I don't like the games, and I definitely am not really a big fan of single player RPGs, single player JRPGs, or RPGs in general. Like, really not my type of game at all. But his video makes me really want to play Dragon Quest XI because he just is very good at articulating what he loves about the game. So yeah, definitely recommend checking that out as well. And his entire Action Button review series after he was, I believe, fired, or maybe he just left from Kotaku. Don't remember. Yeah. Weirdly, don't like watching really long anime or really long, like, narrative content. With a film, like a long film, I'm okay with it. Like, but I'm not that okay with it. You know, like I liked The Irishman, for example. I also really liked the Snyder Cut. Both good. Both pretty long. But I've never made it. I've tried multiple times to watch all of the Lord of the Rings extended cuts back to back. Never made it through all of them. Always end up giving out uh, halfway through the second one, or or right at the beginning of the third one. Actually, I normally get through the second one, and then I'm just like, okay, time to watch the third one, and then I just get distracted by something and don't finish it. Good movies though. But yeah, not the biggest fan of super long films or super long TV shows or super long anime. Like the only really long anime I've ever managed to actually watch all of is well, actually two. The only two really long anime I've ever actually managed to watch all of is uh, Hunter x Hunter and um, Monogatari, all of Monogatari. Um, so yeah, I really like long YouTube videos with an artsy bent to them. It's one of the advantages of the platform. I like non-narrative content. Like, what am I doing right now? What do I have open? Sonic Series gameplay breakdown in one tab. In the next tab, assembly language tutorial, because I want to start learning x86 assembly. Then, Hello World from scratch on a 6502 part 1. This channel, by the way, Ben Eater. I remember watching one of his videos ages ago. And then the second video of his I watched was way too technical for me. So I watched, but let's see. His first video that went viral-ish. Let me see. I don't know if you can actually see my screen. I kind of don't care. Let's see. I don't think it was 5 years ago. I think it was probably sooner than that. Let me sort by popular, because it'll be one of his more popular videos. It might have been his video about a graphics card. I don't actually remember now that I'm thinking, because I know one of these, but I don't remember which one. I'm pretty sure it might have been the graphics card one. But anyway, so and then I was like, oh, this guy seems cool. Let me subscribe to him. I went on his channel to watch some of his other videos, and even though the graphics card one was pretty technical, I felt like I could follow it better. But when I tried to watch another one, I couldn't follow it at all. But now, going back to it, knowing just barely a little bit more about computers, like barely, having played TIS 100, I should say, now I can almost. Now I'm like, I used to be here. If this is understanding what the fuck he's doing, I used to be here, and now I'm like here, right? Which is a much more attainable position. So I can actually watch his videos and only be very confused. I'm just the sort of person that kind of needs to understand what's going on. Like, unless the point is that you don't understand what's going on. Like, I don't know. I feel like I either have. I don't. I'm not the smartest person when it comes to like, sort of mechanical logic, right? Like X follows from Y follows from this follows from like that sort of thing, right? Like I'm not the best at like intuiting or these sorts of things, like deducting these sorts of things. Fun fact: Sherlock Holmes doesn't actually do deductive reasoning, although they call it that. It's not actually deductive reasoning. It's a different type of reasoning. I forget what it's called, but yeah, deducing would be the word, not deducting. But yeah, so I kind of need to understand what the fuck's going on. Like it's hard for me to see the end state of a system and figure out how it got there. Like I've been trying to watch some RuneScape videos recently on the Dotes OSRS channel. Go subscribe. And yeah, I spend most of the time being like, what? like everything's all these like systems and things which just seem arbitrary because I don't have the knowledge of how the game works to see how X leads into Y and so on. And even though the videos are entertaining to watch, that I also spend most of the time just sort of my eyes just sort of gloss over, you know. I've just sort of let it wash over me, like an album or something, which is an interesting way to consume content for sure. Uh, but yeah, I think part of it's because I just like I don't know. Maybe it's just harder for me to learn things because I'm an old fuck now. 22 years old, old fuck. Uh, it's all fairly complicated. Computers, they're difficult, but I want to learn really low level computing because that just seems cool to me. I don't know. I like that. I like the idea of um, writing close to the bare metal, as they say. Um, I don't know why. I just do. Like I think it's good. Like I think things like that are good. like they tend to be better than they tend to be harder to do properly, but they tend to be better. I don't know much about computers, but I know this. Like the lower level you go, the more nuance and control you have, um, and that's good. I think. Like yeah, that's kind of cool. I think like programs written in low level languages, they run real fast. Remember my video about how graphics cards are bloat or whatever? That was a terrible title. Oh, it wasn't that bad actually. So sorry, it was kind of a clickbait title, not a terrible. It was actually a good title, but it was a bit of a clickbait title. Um, uh, it was actually a good title now that I think about it. But yeah, like that one about how video games should be able to run on my ThinkPad because I'm molding and seething and coping. Uh, well, that's because old video games used to be written in assembly, and they're not anymore. Because everyone assumes you have a beefy computer, but I don't have a beefy computer. So write your fucking video games in assembly. uh, and I found this. Well, I found someone posted in a Matrix room that I'm in about post-collapse computing, um, like this thing. Collapse OS. It's an operating system designed to run on like minimal and improvised machines. Um, you can do things in Forth. Uh, you can install it on 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 a Sega Mega Drive or something, or like a ZX Spectrum. Uh, Here I am emulating that OS in my browser because that's how minimal it is. Don't know what to do with it. Help. Word not found. Okay. Yeah, don't know. Don't know what I'm doing. I think it has a version of Ed. No. Or ED, sorry. Oh, you have to load a ROM or something. But I don't fucking know. I don't know computers, and I definitely don't know Forth because who knows Forth in 2021? Uh, yeah, I have no idea how that shit works, but it's a cool idea. And there's all type of other stuff like there's this website called XXIIVV, and some of the stuff about them is weird, but some of the stuff about them is kind of cool. Like I don't know, people. It's very strange. They're cool in some they're cool, but they're also strange. I want for things to be good, you know. I want for things to be well designed and good and efficient and quick. You know how like I see a lot of programmers and they say things about how like oh, haha, I got a computer science degree and now my job is I get paid to copy paste things from Stack Overflow. Now I'm a level worse than that. No, I don't even know how to program. I don't know anything. I don't know shit. I don't even know basic bash scripting or really anything. But I feel like you're not really a programmer if that's how, like that's surely this isn't a good thing, right? Like surely that's not how it should be. Kind of reminds me of this thing called Splice, which is a resource for musicians, a sample library for musicians, electronic musicians, and other kind of. I guess you could. All musicians these days are basically electronic musicians. It's a subscription service. You get or I don't know if it is actually. Honestly, I don't know. I've never used it. But basically, you can upload sample packs and pay for other people's sample packs and get paid for your own sample packs. And on the one hand, you get the niceness of like, hey, if I want a particular obscure synth from the 80s or some sample of a large crowd or something that's impractical for me to do on my own, I can find high quality samples of that someone else has made and I can pay them in exchange for their work. That's good. That's cool. I like that fact. But that's not how it's actually used most of the time. Most of the time it's used as a crutch by people who don't really know what they're doing in music. And I'm not going to say I know what I'm doing. You know, I don't. But I think I know more what I'm doing than people who use Splice as a bit of a crutch. Because it will make things sound like if you take someone who knows what they're doing and you take their work and put it in your work, right, with Splice, and not as like a sample where you have to be creative. You can be, but let's say for example, you just a lot of what's on Splice are like drum beats. Like a lot of people use drum beats from Splice. So let's say you have a song, and you're like, I can't be bothered to make a drum beat. I'm gonna go on Splice, get a drum beat. I don't know how to fucking mix a drums. I don't know how to do parallel compression and all of the stuff that makes drums sound punchy. But this guy does. So let's take his drum beat and put it in my thing. Well, now you have a pretty good sounding drum beat in your track, and it might even have been well selected by you to suit your track. But you can always tell if you're me, because mixing is not just each individual element; it's the whole. And so if you have one part of the to me with my trained ear, I can tell when something's a bit too something to fit with the rest of the track. Like I can tell that, for example, Adam Neely, popular YouTuber, Adam Neely, gets a lot of stuff from Splice because he's not an Ableton professional. He's a bass player, you know, and he gets a lot of his like drum loops from Splice and stuff like and similar places. Don't know why, but maybe he just doesn't have. That's not what he does music for. He doesn't do music because he wants to spend a few hours tweaking the EQ of a kick drum. He wants to lay down those fat fucking bass lines or whatever it is he does, or not so fat bass lines depending. But so the point being, I don't know. It's both a good and bad thing. Like, yes, Stack Overflow allows for you to copy paste a bunch of pretty good code from people who actually know what they're doing, because the people who post their answers, solutions to whatever on Stack Overflow are generally very smart. But one day those people are going to die. And then what are you going to do? What are you going to do when they die? Who's going to post on Stack Overflow now? No one. No one is going to do it. Or you're going to be using stuff and you're not going to know why you've been using it. Or maybe you're just going to take things at their word and not find a more optimal way of doing things. You know, I don't think it's good to rely on something like that. I think yeah, I think you should just actually learn to code. You know, actually get good. If you're gonna do something, do it. You know, do it properly. Don't just rely on other people. Do it properly. Now, recently I've been kind of in a in a in a collapse mindset. You know, in a bit of a prepper mindset. Like, um, I saw this video of a guy who's like a nomadic shepherd, but like in the US. Like he uh he has like some sheep, and he just sort of walks around and lets them like graze on like empty lots and like the grass next to highways and or paths and sidewalks as they call them in America, uh, pavement, uh, you know, and asks people if he can graze their fields and etc. etc. And then because being a shepherd is great, by the way, because you get loads of sheep are great animals. Well, firstly they're very cute and good. They're cool. I like sheep. Big fan of them aesthetically. Um, but practically, from a human use perspective, keeping sheep is really good. Really good. Firstly, they you can make clothes out of their wool, which is really neat. And not just clothes. You can make loads of things out of their wool. You could make bed sheets. You can make, well, actually, I don't know if wool bed sheets would be good. But you can make bags. You know, all sorts of things out of their wool. That's really useful. And then they produce milk, and milk is really useful. Like, you know, sheep produce a lot of milk, and well, cows produce even more. But cows aren't really practical to carry around with you in your backpack. But a few sheep, they're pretty small. They can just sort of wander around, eat some grass, and you get milk at the end of the day. And this guy, he says he gets 50% of his calories from sheep milk based products, either just drinking the milk on its own, turning it into cheese, turning it into butter, turning it into all sorts of things. And I believe him. And that's just every day from his sheep, just because they're vibing. And this is the thing that I really don't like about Anthrims and stuff, but I like about these other post-collapse ideologies, or not even ideologies, just people who are thinking about this stuff that aren't Anthrims, is that they're okay with just using modern technology to make their lives better, even without civilization, which I think is the perfect, like, why wouldn't you be thinking that, stupid fucking Anthrims? Some of them are, but whatever. Like this guy, the shepherd, uh, he has this crazy cool solar oven, which is like made of mirrors and shit, and it cooks food really well. Like he showed it on camera that it cooks food really well, and you can cook crazy food. And it's just like it doesn't take electricity or whatever. It's like a weird tube thing. And you sort of unfold these like mirrors, parabolic mirror type things. It's like a tube, and you put the food in the tube, and you put it in the sun for a bit, and it reflects the sun's heat and light into the food and makes it cook. You know how cooking works. That's a really good idea, and that'd be really useful. It's just great. It's just generally an amazing idea. If I ever go hobo mode, you can bet I'm getting one of those. Because that's fucking sick. He also had like an evaporative cooling, like cold fridge, I guess, but it wasn't. I don't know. Refrigerated cheese cellar, I think he called it, where he like ferments his cheese, and it just uses evaporative cooling. Like you just get it wet, and it just uses evaporative cooling to keep itself at the perfect temperature for the stuff so it doesn't rot and stuff. Like a lot of that stuff, although they did have some evaporative, I vaguely remember hearing something about evaporative cooling in Middle Ages in I don't remember where, somewhere. I can't remember if it was like the Arab world or Europe. So I don't remember. Honestly, don't remember. So someone else can do the research on that. I might have just made that up. That actually, now that I think about it, I might have just made that up because now I don't remember. But anyway, Like that's a good technology. That's good and useful post-capitalism. He had this like little water pump that is like you put all the water in a thing, you pump it, and you can use it as a shower. You can use it to spray all sorts of things. Good idea. He had all sorts of stuff, right? You know what's great? Rubber tires. I like rubber tires. Bicycles. Bicycles. Love bicycles. Great invention. One of the best inventions of all time, I would say. Are bicycles. And we can keep those without capitalism. Why not? Oh, you need trade from rubber or whatever. Fuck off. You can grow a rubber tree wherever. Grow one. Get the rubber, turn it into tires, ride your fucking bike around. Or just take bikes that already exist. And then there's all this post-collapse computing and stuff. It's super cool. Although, I don't know who the fuck's gonna have a ZX Spectrum post-collapse, but I feel like it would be way more useful to figure out a way to turn an Android phone into a post-collapse computer or whatever, because, well, they aren't going to last that long, but there's probably going to be a lot more of them in sort of e-waste and stuff. Speaking of which, I've been thinking of going to like an e-waste dump site or whatever and seeing if I can pick some stuff up. I don't know how to do that. How does one go about that? Answers in the comments, please. I just like computers. I just want all electronic stuff. I like them. They're cool. But one of the things that's really cool about this post-collapse stuff is it's all about like low-power computing. Because power is going to be a limited resource. Like right now, we have a bunch of fossil fuels and all this stuff, but in the future that's going to be harder to get. Like, what if you could run a computer off of a couple of solar panels? And I mean, you can actually do that right now, but they're not very efficient. They're not that power efficient. Like, what if you could? What if there was a computer that, like, I mean, they exist. Like my Raspberry Pi, for example. A Raspberry Pi is a low power single board PC. It's pretty good for this situation. Where the fuck is my Raspberry Pi? Here it is. I'm thinking of hooking this up, maybe doing something with it. Like, there's an element of this which is just practicality or frugality. Like, a low-power computer that draws less power draws less power. Power costs money. Gemini and Gopher sites, or whatever they call them. Gemini capsules and Gopher holes. Most fucking stupid shit ever. They, text-based websites require lower bandwidth, and I can, bandwidth is expensive. Every time you load some bloated fucking website or whatever, it's costing you money. Yeah. So that's all good and useful. Fuck's sake. Keep getting interrupted, very annoying. Like a Raspberry Pi, it's like 30 quid. This is, if I could just do all of my computing on this, and I can do most of my computing on this. I don't, but I could. That would be amazing. Do you know what? I should set this up and like plug it in and stuff. It's a bit of a pain because I have to like dig a bunch of wires out and shit that I don't know where they are. But should I do that? Should I set my Raspberry Pi up and just install like a Gopher browser and just use it for chilling? Like I could construct some sort of computer. Let's see. Hold on. I want to try something. Actually, I've had an idea. This is dangerous. I've had an idea, guys. I need to locate something. Where would I have put this thing? That's the question. Well, it's not in there. Hey, you guys want CD? You guys like tapes and CDs? Why don't you seed these nuts? Look, it's my album on CD. Who the fuck has a CD player? This is not what I was looking for, but look what I found. Why do I have, where did I get this from? Why do I have a random 4 gigabyte SD card? God knows. What's this? Why do I have this over here? Alright, no? What the fuck? Is this? What is this? Does this plug into this? No. That's clearly not right. This is my hairdryer. I don't know if you guys can even hear me. Maybe it's over here somewhere? Maybe it's in my bag. Why am I recording this? Look what I found buried deep in a drawer somewhere. A very old phone of mine. Apparently I must have factory reset this at some point, because it also doesn't have a SIM card or an SD card in it. Damn. I don't think there's anything I can really do with this, but it's funny as a curiosity. Maybe it's possible for me to like upgrade the. I think it's no longer going to be supported. Software update. Register Google account first. See, I'm not even signed into Google. Not sure I want to necessarily. I mean, I could upgrade it to the latest version of. I don't think it will want to be upgraded to the latest version of Android. It's very strange. It's a very strange thing. This phone has a task manager. You can end tasks. I don't think modern phones have that. It tells me my RAM usage and stuff. Oh, I can clear. Look, this is useful, isn't it? It's like HTOP on my phone. What modern phones have this? It's all very strange. But yeah, look, it's an old phone. You know, I could probably do something with it. Look, look at how old this YouTube app is. It's not going to work because I'm not signed in, but look at how old this is. Do you remember this? I actually don't. I do not remember this. Wait, let's see what the camera's like. Where's the camera app? Camera. I was blind. Unable to use flash, battery low. Okay. Insert memory card to use the camera. It doesn't even have a front-facing camera. It just has this one. This is, you see, this is, should I start recording my YouTube videos on this? That would be so cool. I can't record anything because I don't have an SD card in it. But that would be extremely cool. Yeah, I don't have a memory card in. Imagine that. Yo, what if I recorded my fucking YouTube videos on this? Lo-fi as heck. Oh yeah, I plugged my Raspberry Pi in. I forgot if I mentioned that already. There it is. There she is. But the problem is with this Raspberry Pi in its current state is that Raspberry Pis aren't really usable as daily driver computers or anything close out of the box. In fact, Raspbian OS is just kind of weirdly limited. Like, well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the way I'm using it. Basically, I'm considering uninstalling or just doing a fresh install of a fresh OS. God knows what. Maybe, I mean, I know Arch works. I could do like a minimal Arch install or something. I'm not sure yet. But I mean, I might not do any of this. The point being, I don't know, I'm close to, the reason Arch is because, like, on a Raspberry Pi, I would want to be running the most minimal, the most efficient software, right? Because it's a tiny computer with very limited resources. So, like, for example, my ideal browser for a Raspberry Pi, I would be using, like, Surf, right? Here I am. I installed it because I'm a Chad. Suckless Chad. But here, like, this is Surf, the Surf browser. So I were to, I don't know, let's go to anywhere. Doesn't matter. The point being, I have this Surf browser installed, right? Now I can. There's problems with the Surf browser. Basically, like a lot of websites just aren't like if I go to like Sushi Chan, right, which is a website that I would go to quite often because I go there all the time. Sorry, one-handed typing. But I get this a lot. So basically something about the oh, whoops! I typed the address wrong. Never mind. That's what that was. But I will still get an error even when I type it correctly. There we go. Correct address. And what? It works now. It didn't work at like 10th. I did restart my computer and install. Have I fixed it? Have I fixed it? Look, this should be Sushi Chan. Yo, Pog. Absolute Pog moment. Oops, wrong one. This is the right one, right? And you know what? I'm sticking to. What was it? Was it Miku by default? Yeah, Miku. I'm sticking with Miku. You know what? Fuck it. But there we go. Now I'm on Sushi Chan. I can sushi, I can chan, I can do all the things that. I mean, the font's kind of fucked up, but pretend the font isn't fucked up, and there we go. And that loaded fairly quickly, and it's on Surf. It's very, very minimal. And this could be my foreseeably. Maybe not. I mean, the big problem with Surf is that it doesn't have any form of native ad blocking. You have to do ad blocking with etc hosts or or whatever. Like it just which you can do. Like it's not impossible. It's just a bit of a pain. And I don't know, but this is what right. But then okay, what was the other thing I wanted to do? Let's try out. I don't know what I've done. I'm gonna test this out. I mean, I can browse one chan, so that's really all that matters. Okay, so it seems like some absolute fucking ignoramus, retarded, fucking mongoloid people tried to raid a bunch of smaller image boards in order to quote unquote kill old image board culture. Now, I don't know what that means. I read about it. One chan was attacked, Sushi Chan was attacked. I don't know who else was attacked. They tried to spam as much stuff as possible, as many threads as possible, in order to get all the old threads pushed off, pushed off and deleted. Now, fortunately, people have backups, people can delete posts and whatever, but it's not been without effect. What sort of person does, like, that's such a weird, why would you want to do that? It's so weird. I guess, I don't know. Anyway, I mean, we can't really watch videos. Videos don't really work. Videos don't really work. But, other than videos, everything works. Videos don't work, but, I can go on websites. Oh, also JavaScript. No JavaScript, no videos. No JavaScript is fine. You know, you don't want to be using websites with JavaScript. But although it's slightly annoying because there is one website I use which requires JavaScript to work, which is slightly annoying. But other than that, I can live with it. The no videos thing is annoying. I just need to figure out how to. There is a way to get around it. I just don't know how to do it on this particular machine. Like I would know how to do it if I was on my other computer. I would know how to get videos working because I saw a tutorial for Arch. But the packages they installed, I don't know. I couldn't figure out how to install them if they're not in your package man. Like I would like to just compile them from source, but I don't know where to find them. I don't know where to find the source. I tried looking, couldn't find it. There's just a couple of packages that you need, but yeah, and it might work. like if I go to youtube.be, right, and then just click on a random thing, I don't know, NRA gets hacked by ransomware group. It looks like the video you could play it, but you can't. You can click on it, nothing will happen. You can open it in a new window. It just gives you a 403. It says to download. You can't actually download it. It doesn't work. This one also doesn't work. Just gives you a 403. You can't actually watch the video, even though it seems like you should be able to. Now you can, I believe, watch YouTube videos. I actually haven't checked. Let's go to YouTube. I actually haven't checked if YouTube itself works, because for some reason YouTube MPV isn't working. Like YouTube won't even fucking load. First of all, oh yeah, because of JavaScript, you can't use YouTube without JavaScript. But you know, that's a thing. So basically, I've installed another browser. I installed Iceweasel. I now have like 4 fucking browsers installed on this machine, because it comes with 2, right? It comes with Midori. It comes with 3. It comes with Midori, Epiphany, and Chromium, right? Which is weird. And no, it comes with 4. I think it comes with Dillo as well. I think, what's that? See, this is why Raspbian is so weird, because this is like, why are you wasting so much space with? It comes with a bunch of fucking like, I'm pretty sure I didn't install Dillo myself. Like, I'm pretty sure it just came with Dillo. I might be wrong. Dillo is a good web browser, by the way. If you ever want to use a very cool web browser, minimal, doesn't have JavaScript or nothing, but you know, like a good web browser should. It's very strange. So yeah, I have like I have 5 web browsers installed. I have Dillo, Epiphany, Midori, Surf, and now I have Iceweasel, because I was trying to get something to work and it wouldn't work in Surf, and I just gave up and installed Iceweasel. But now I think I might uninstall Iceweasel, because it's incredibly slow. It's painfully slow. And Iceweasel, I'm pretty sure, installs Firefox. Like, wait, let's find out. If I just launch Firefox. So yeah, I now have 6 browsers installed on my computer. Oh, this fucking Raspberry Pi is so stupid. Get out of here. Let's, like, what is it? Sudo. Why did I capitalize the S? Sudo apt get. Sorry, I'm typing slowly with one hand. Remove Iceweasel. We don't need Iceweasel. We also don't want Midori, because everything Midori can do, Dillo can also do. I should have just done them both at the same time. Wasn't really thinking. Get rid of this. Get rid of Midori. It also comes with the entire LibreOffice suite. I don't want LibreOffice. I don't want any of these stuffs. Get rid of all of it. Who the fuck? I don't need LibreOffice. I have Vim. Come on. Come on now. I really hope this gets rid of all of the LibreOffice stuff. And not just... Let's find out. Office. Nope. Oh, fuck. Fuck off. I don't want you open. Why would you... I don't know, like, it's about... Like, what is the point of this? Who is this for? You can't use a Raspberry Pi like that. Like, it's too slow to use with normal soft... Whatever. Do I have to fucking uninstall every single LibreOffice thing manually? I'm sure there's some way to do it. Would it work if I put a star next to it? I don't think that works. Oh, it worked. Hey, what do you know? My genius Brain. Now let's hope that... I don't think anything depends on fucking LibreOffice. What would depend on LibreOffice? Also, what is this terminal? What is this? Like, can I just install... I think I might install whatever the suckless terminal is called, which I've forgotten. What the fuck is it called? What's the suckless terminal called? Is it called S-term? That's not right. What the fuck is it called? What the fuck is the suckless term? Now I have to look it up. Right, that's gotten rid of everything, right? Yeah, look, it doesn't even... Office doesn't even show up anymore. I guess Audacity's kind of useful. What's Firefox ESR? What is this? What is Firefox ESR? Who wants this installed on their fucking system? Yeah, go away. I don't want you here. I don't want Mozilla. I don't want this. I don't want Firefox ESR. Yes, go die. Maybe. Alright, hold on. Let's run DF and see how much space I've just saved. Barely any. We're still using a lot of... Wait, isn't it df-h does human readable? Oops, wrong key. Yeah. Available 5 gigs. Where? What is my SD card that big? 5 gigs is not very much. But yeah, I would like to clean this the fuck up. But this is all like... You know, this is like... How many... I don't know how to list all explicitly. I know it's pseudo pacman, what is it, QI or something, but I don't know what it is in fucking apt-get. I guess I can look it up. Okay, so some of these aren't installed anymore. Like, I'm pretty sure I don't have... Do I still have Wolfram installed? What, like, I bet a bunch of this is terrible. Like, what fucking PDF viewer is this? There's no way it's a good one. I have Minecraft installed. I don't want Minecraft installed. What image viewer is this? I guess this is... What is this? What the fuck is this? Why is this not fair or SXIV by default? This is so stupid. Raspbian is a very like... if I was given... Like, I don't know shit about constructing an operating system, right? I guess, okay, to be fair, their goal is accessibility, right? Like, they want... Well, of course you're going to want an office suite on your computer. You feel like, what if you don't have an office suite? Like, I guess they give Raspberry Pis to kids in schools and stuff, right? And anyone who is smart enough to know or anyone who actually needs more power out of a Raspberry Pi is probably smart enough to know how to... Or space out of a Raspberry Pi, or efficient, or whatever, right? More bang for your buck. It's probably smart enough to install their own OS or get rid of all the bloat or whatever. I wish they would give me an option, though. Like, there's no... Do I still have Wolfram? How do I find out if I have Wolfram? What is SmartSim? I don't know what any of this is. What is Wolfram Engine? I mean, I know what that is, but why do I still have it installed? I do. I don't want this installed. I don't want this installed. Wolfram-engine. Yeah, go away. I'm never going to use you. That's 1,000 megabytes. That's a lot of megabytes. That's a whole 1,000 of them. Never going to use it in my life. What else have we got that we don't fucking need? I've gotten rid of some of this stuff, but clearly not well enough. Ugh, it's a whole bunch of shit. NetSurf? Why do I have I never installed NetSurf in my life. What is that? I don't want Minecraft Pi. I also should uninstall Minecraft Pi. We don't need Minecraft Pi. We don't need any of your shit on here. We're cleaning up. We're cleaning up the streets. One day a real rain will come. I'm the real fucking rain, boy. I'm the real rain. And I'm coming. Oh, you better bet I'm coming. What was going on in my head when I decided to put, like, hold on, we can actually find out. We can actually find out. This was in pictures, right? Yeah. Let's find out. Properties. A gigabyte, 1.1 gigs of pictures of anime and memes folder onto my Raspberry Pi. What was I thinking there? Anyone care to explain? And how is it that this is useful? Because all of these images I thought were lost forever, including a large chunk of my Akari folder, including this image, for example, and this WebM as another example, which doesn't seem to be opening. And oh, there's MPV. Oh, it's trying. Let's close that out before it kills itself. So I'm now copying these to my external hard drive so that I can have a backup of all of them before I delete them. And that will be it. So I've now, in deleting programs I'm not going to use, and all of these images will have saved 2 gigs or more, actually. Don't replace the existing file. Let's say no. Let's replace it with. Let's call it Noah Wu 2. Don't know what this image is. Let's call it Noah Wu 3, just because I can't be. It seems to be what I typed. Yeah, something's happening. So I'm now copying all of these anime. None of the memes, because the memes are all really outdated. You want to have a look at some of the memes? Hope there's nothing too edgy in here. They're pretty damn outdated. Look, 2018 memes. Let's see what we got here. We got Mio is cute. That's a pretty good meme. What else? Yo, a Kizuna Eye. Yeah, that's 2018. What's this? Oh, this is worrying. What could this be? It is just a circular rainbow thing. Okay, that's not even a meme. A Pepe. A cute Asian. These are not memes. No, thank you. Good meme. Interesting. The Virgin DMT, the Chad Datura. Okay. Good job, 2018 me. Very, very, very. Well, this is a big one. What is this? Oh, this is just the Hezbollah logo. Why have I got the Hezbollah logo in my memes folder? I mean, that's kind of fucking based, but why? And what is this image? Whatever. Civilization is collapsing, let's give it a push. Okay, decent meme. Not really a meme, but you know. Texas gun, okay. This is a good classic. The vaginal sound, okay. Oh, I guess this is a two-parter. Yeah, that's pretty funny. We got a Sam Hyde meme. Okay. Oh, some feet. Cool. He asked me if it's permissible to smoke marijuana in a Muslim country, so I told him, in our country, only gays get stoned. Good meme. This is not. A lot of these are just cute girls. We got a lot of K-On! Must have been really into K-On! At the time. Oh dear, can I even show that on YouTube? Autistic GF. Johnny Cash lyrics. That's it, that's all the memes. Well, none of those are really worth saving. So, those are probably just going to get lost to the aether. I don't believe I will copy those to my new computer. Or, sorry, to my hard drive. Let's just skip all of them. Don't know what that means, but We're skipping them. Oh, it seems I at one point did try to make this in LCARS, so I can probably just get rid of this. What does run? I'll wait for this to finish and then I'll run.sh that run.sh. Because LCARS is cool. That's the operating system from. I vaguely remember at one point trying to make my Raspberry Pi look like Star Trek computer, but I don't know if it was success. I mean, I don't think it was successful. Is this a whole episode of Non Non Biori? What? Why? Okay, that's all copied there now. So now let's go back to my. Oh, let's do run.sh. Cause fuck it, right? What's that gonna do? Nothing. Oh. Oh, here we are in LCARS. I don't know what the. No idea. Okay, interesting. There's a password, and I don't know what the password is. Well, that's interesting. Okay, well, we don't need any of that, so let's move that to wastebasket. What's OR? It's just an empty text document. Okay, sick. MPV shot. Screenshot from Solar Experiments Lane. Sick. Screenshot of some website, some image board. No, don't rename it. Why is this? It's a screenshot of my own desktop. Okay. Got some downloads. We got an image of Squid Girl. We got. I guess these were supposed to be wallpapers that I was thinking of using. Interesting. Any music? No. Pictures. What's this? Why does it keep asking me to rename things? Oh, that was my original when I first installed it. That was the original wallpaper. Installed it. Bought it. When I first bought this Raspberry Pi, that was the first thing I installed. Alright, let's delete these animes and memes. I am having one small problem, and as far as I can tell, this isn't my fault. I bet the one time I want to show it on video, it doesn't happen. But if I were to open, let's say, this video in MPV, as I would often open a YouTube video with my nice cute browser thing, it'll take a second, and then that would have been cool. Oh, and hey, of course, typical, the one time I want to show it on camera, it loads completely fine, buffers perfectly fine. Let's try another one. Let's try half as interesting. Let's try Steve Mold. Let's watch the Steve Mold video. I think it's channel specific. Like, I feel like some channels always don't work, and some channels always work. There we go. So this one, even though there's nothing different about this Steve Mold video compared to this Adam Ragusier video, right? They're both popular YouTube. Like, they're both downloading in the same quality and whatever. One of them is going to take way longer to buffer. Like, we've only buffered 10 seconds in this one, whereas in the previous one we buffered like at least 20 almost instantly. And it will very quickly, catch up to the bufferingness of it. As you can see, the bufferingness is going down, and eventually it'll just, catch up, and then I won't be able to watch it anymore. So, at first, I used to be able to just have a thing that bound Control R to refresh the video, like reload the video, basically, reload the media in MPV, and that would fix it. Normally, the first time I did it, it would fix it. Now, it no longer fixes it. In fact, as you can see, it's not buffering at all. I only just got 1 second. It's gotten worse. I got lucky the first time on that with it buffering that fast. Again, I'm reloading, and it takes ages. Which again, it used to reload very quickly. Now it takes ages to reload. Again, buffering incredible. Look, nothing. No buffering yet. Let's wait. Let's wait. There we go. We got 1 second of buffering after all that time, right? Again, I can reload it, and eventually it will just crash. Like, oh no, or it will just close. It will just exit. It won't even be able to re-download the video. Sometimes it just never fixes itself. It used to fix itself with a refresh. This used to be a little bit of a thing. It wasn't a bug, it was throttling on Google's part, but now it just never fixes itself. So I have tried so many things to fix this. I've done the bind control R to reload the media. I have switched from YouTube DL to YT DLP. I have switched my downloader thing to Aria 2. I don't really know how it works, but I saw it on a Reddit somewhere, and it seemed to work for that guy, but that didn't help. I made sure I'm on the most up-to-date version of everything. I've rolled back things. I've rolled them back forwards because that didn't fix it. Um, I've tried a bunch of shit. None of it works. And so what I've done, my solution to this, my workaround to this, is to have a second keybind other than the one to spawn MPV. This one is a user script, a very clever user script that will spawn a link in Invidious, which has not worked for some reason. That's the first time that's ever happened in my life, I swear. What was the thing I was just trying to watch? Here. I don't know what I just did, but it should support it like this. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It just opens a new tab with that video in Invidious. Invidious works fine, and it's good. It's much, if I'm gonna be loading a whole website, I would rather it be a much lighter weight website like Invidious, and obviously no Google tracking and all the good stuff about that, no ads, etc. Definitely better than watching a video on the YouTube website. And I could even now, just to prove that I don't know what the problem is, I can even open this current URL in MPV, which I just did with my keybind. It will take a second. Maybe. Oh, it didn't even work. Let's try again. Should work. YTDLP should be able to handle Invidious links, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, and even this is really slow to buffer. So I don't know what the fucking problem is. It's weird, but this isn't too bad. Like, I don't mind just using Invidious. Now the thing, when I said this is a very clever user script, it's a very clever user script. It doesn't just do YouTube. It doesn't just do YouTube to Invidious. It will also, the same keybind, the same script, it will automatically redirect links to their privacy respecting and better designed alternatives, like automatically redirecting Reddit to Teddit, automatically redirecting Twitter to, I have to be careful when I say this, Knitter, right? Knitter, right? And other things as well, which I don't remember. So it's a cool little thing. It's a shame it's not MPV though, because that's a good program. But whatever. It is what it is. It's just a bit of a shame. And I don't even know. Maybe this is actually a more efficient workflow. It's hard to say, really. I decided that I probably will, in fact, end up staying up for as long as possible. I think it's the best option. And I just have to hope that things aren't too loud when I'm trying to sleep. It's currently 6:40 a.m. I think in an hour or two I will go to the shops and buy a Monster. Or actually, I'll probably buy a Red Bull, since I actually prefer the 0-calorie Red Bull to the 0-calorie Monster. I know White Monster is the meme drink, but I honestly don't think it tastes that good. I'm sorry. It doesn't really taste like an energy drink. It tastes like White Monster, which is fine if you like White Monster. liquid, but I have grown so used to full fat energy drinks over my lifetime of drinking them that I just expect my energy drinks to taste like energy drinks. So I'm gonna get a Red Bull. Anyway, don't know what I'm doing. Might be learning assembly, x84 assembly. Don't know. Kind of bored. Kind of bored. So I'm learning x86 assembly. I mean, you know how it be. You know how it be. Yeah, can't find any solutions for this. I thought it seems like some other people have been having similar problems. Some of them seem to have just solved it with YTDLP instead of YouTube DL. I did that ages ago and it did not do shit. So I just don't know. Just sort of run out of things to say. Tried to do a review of some kefir, which is like fermented milk. It just tasted like yogurt. It just tasted like yogurt. I had nothing to say about it. It didn't go well with the alcohol I've just had. Also, I feel a bit weird now. Alcohol and dairy products, not a good mixture. Don't know how the dude drinks his alcohol and dairy product based drink, but I cannot do that. I'm just fucking tired. Why is it that I burp every time I'm about to record something? Anyway, so I just woke up. I didn't just wake up. I woke up like an hour ago, or like half an hour ago. It's 12:30. I woke up at like 11:50 something. 12:30 midnight. Because I stayed up for a long time and then passed out at like 3 p.m. So my goals for today are every video just evolves into Linux bullshit, which I think is kind of funny, but because that wasn't the plan. But I basically I just want to make my Raspberry Pi into something that's actually usable or useful, because Raspberry Pis are not that. Well, like I've just had it sitting around, and it's such a cool bit of kit that I like it's a cool bit of kit. I want it to be doing something, and it also like sure ThinkPads aren't the most powerful machines in the world, but you don't necessarily have to have them be super minimal, right? Like you can mine's fairly minimal, but not that minimal. Like, it's not actually that minimal compared to like some people, right? Like I have a bunch of shit on my computer that I probably could do without, but I'm lazy or don't want to learn the alternatives, which I think is fine. Like I'm not morally opposed to that. And I also have stuff that's there because even though it's not minimal, it's something I like. Like for example, Steam. Steam. I have Steam installed on my ThinkPad, which I don't use very often because I'm not much of a gamer, as we've already discussed. But sometimes I want to play TIS 100 or whatever, and so I have Steam installed. Right, that's a huge fucking monolithic proprietary program. Uh, I think you can probably get TIS 100 on GOG.com or something like that, but I already bought it on Steam, so it is what it is. Uh, so yeah, my ThinkPad is, although fairly minimal, not the most minimal because it doesn't need to be, right? It's minimal as far as it's practical to be minimal, right? Whereas I woke up and I've just been like blowing my nose like crazy. Like I don't know, some of this happens to me. I don't know what it is, but I think it's because I didn't drink enough water yesterday and I've been dehydrated and then lying on my back or something. I don't know. But basically, my point is when you see this roll of toilet paper here, don't think I'm combing, right? I would never comb. I've never combed in my life. This is for blowing my nose. So yeah. Uh, a Raspberry Pi is not usable in the same way a ThinkPad is usable. Like, I can't personally, with what I'd spend all day doing, which is watching YouTube videos, use a Raspberry Pi as my daily driver because it's not really capable of playing HD video at 30 FPS or 25 FPS or whatever. Uh, yeah, like it doesn't like full screen HD video. I've never been able to get it to like doing that. I don't think it can like doing that. I think it's just too much of a resource intensive process for a tiny Raspberry Pi. So that being said, and Raspberry Pis are tiny. It only has 6 gigabytes of memory in my SD card or whatever. So I have or 7 gigabytes of memory or something like that. I don't remember exactly how much, but basically I have an actual reason to make a minimalist system, uh, and that's kind of cool. So like yeah, obviously Raspbian is not a very minimalist distro, um, and I was considering distro hopping on the Pi to something smaller, like uh, maybe installing some minimal Arch, just doing minimal something Arch, maybe a BSD of some form. Uh, NetBSD runs on anything. I've set it up once before. It was not too bad apart from Wi-Fi, but I've now done Wi-Fi like 3 times with WPA supplicant, so I should be able to set it up. But NetBSD's package manager sucks. Um, so there's that. Other BSDs are better documented, but do I really want to be using a BSD? Like, I don't know. Like, basically my point is, I can't fucking be bothered to install a new OS on this thing, right? I don't want to, because let's be honest, distros don't really matter that much. Yes, the BSD kernel is smaller and more efficient than the Linux kernel. This is true. But it is what it is. Like that's a lot of effort to go through for. I say that's a lot of effort. It's a lot of not fun effort. I don't know. Maybe it is fun. I don't really have a logical reason. I don't want to install a new. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Maybe because I just spent a while like configuring. I didn't even spend that long configuring anything. I don't know. There's not even a sunk cost aspect to this. I just feel like I can get what I need out of Raspbian as of now, although it's not ideal. Uh, I guess at some point in the future I switch to a better something, maybe Plan 9. I was thinking about Plan 9, but yeah, I don't. Did I talk about this in this video? I don't like how mouse centric Plan 9 is. There's nothing more annoying to me in the world than this movement, right? Because normally when you're sitting at the computer, right, I just have my hands on the home row, just where they naturally rest. It's like, oh, gotta do something. I'm typing something, doing work, doing anything, which is normally with the keyboard, doing anything. Oh, gotta fucking click something. Ooh, move over to the mouse, click the thing, and let go of the mouse, move back. So annoying. Just let me do everything with the fucking keyboard, so I don't have to constantly move my hand back and forth. Annoying shit. But before I can do any of that, I need to feed myself. So I'm gonna go have some like eggs or something. And then I have my plan of action. It's fairly simple because I'm just not really in the mood to do something to set up a system from scratch. I just want to do 3 things. I want to install ST, the suckless terminal, because that's like the most minimal terminal, most system resource efficient terminal as far as I have researched that is actually usable. Uh, now again because I'm lazy. Okay, I have a legitimate reason for this, but I still can't help but know that it makes me sound like a noob or a nerd of some kind. Uh, so I'm just going to install Luke Smith's version of ST. Why? Because it has literally all of the patches that I would just install myself, but pre-done, so I don't have to do that work. Like, it doesn't have any of the ones I don't want, and it has all of the ones that I would want. So, why go through the trouble of downloading the official version of Suckless and patching it manually to get the same result as just installing Luke Smith's one. I'm just going to install Luke Smith's one. Then I guess I will. I guess I'll install maybe BSPWM or something. I mean, BSPWM is my favorite window manager. I'm very familiar with its environment and everything, so I believe I'll go with that. I was even thinking of doing this, like going super minimal and going for a headless system, because most of the stuff I plan on doing with this computer is in the terminal. I plan on using it for like most of the stuff that I do is in the terminal, but I feel like the graphical web browser is quite a nice thing to have, so I'm not going to do it. I considered it, but I'm going to use a graphical web browser, so I decided against it. I'm using Surf, the Surf browser, by the way. Again, minimal. And yeah, that's basically it. No, wait, that's not it. That's not it. There's three things I want to do. I want to do ST, right, which should be fairly easy. And then I want to do BSPWM plus SXHKD plus Polybar, I guess. And then one third thing, which I believe is called like DVTM. There we go. I remembered it off memory. The Dynamic Virtual Terminal Manager. Do you know, I could, if it wasn't for the fact that I quite like having a graphical web browser, like I've tried using W3M and Lynx in the past to like do anything, and the web is just too broken for that to work. So that's an unfortunate occurrence, but well, basically my plan is to just have the screen most 90% of the time look identical to if it was just, or not identical, but very close to if I was running just headless, because it will just be a big terminal window with DVTM tiling different terminals in that window, right? But then if I need to open Surf, I can open Surf. That's all I really want. I am going to have to patch Luke Smorth's fork of ST with reasonable colors, because no one fucking knows how colors work in the world, you know? No one, I hate more than anything these off-black, off-white bullshit colors. I'm gonna have to fucking somehow get it to use proper colors. I've never used ST before. I use URXVT on my ThinkPad. So, let's go eat some fucking breakfast, and then I have to have three things to set up. Let's just remember them right now. ST is the first. I also considered switching to a different shell, a more minimal shell, like a dash instead of bash, but I'm not sure it's worth it as of now, because, well, it might break some things. I don't think it will break anything, but it might break some things, and that's just. But I don't know. I don't know really. Um. So yeah, we're gonna be doing ST. That's gonna be the longest. I think this is gonna be the longest part of the process, because patching, recompiling a program on a Raspberry Pi is gonna take a while. So if I want to change the colors, although no, wait, I don't think you need to do that, because you change the colors of your terminal in X resources. I think that's how it works. And then I can just copy my X resources file over from my ThinkPad. I think. I think that's how it's been a long time since I've done anything like this, like as in fucked with a terminal. Like I got my terminal colors to be black and white a long time ago and never touched them since. Uh, yeah, I just hate the fucking whatever this bullshit terminal is that comes pre-installed on Raspbian is awful. Um, yeah, so we're getting rid of that. We're getting rid of all these bullshit blazing. Still, my heart is blazing. We're installing a decent window manager, uninstalling a bunch of the old window manager stuff, breaking everything because things rely on stuff from the old desktop environment, and then throwing my Raspberry Pi out of the window. That's my plan. Folding Ideas made a video, good video about Jamie Oliver. You can go watch it. It's a good video. I agree with pretty much everything said in it. Interesting from the perspective of me who grew up in Britain and I was a child when the Jamie Oliver stuff was happening. I don't really care about Jamie Oliver. He's not a very good cook, so I don't watch his cooking programs. But I assumed, just based on the cultural, you know, environment, while he was very popular in my childhood in the 2000s, that he was doing good for the world by, making food and campaigning for healthier school lunches, and I thought that was good. But apparently, not really the case. So there's that. Uh, Good video. One thing about the video that I didn't really like was pretty much the only thing I didn't like, and I don't think he did this on purpose. As like, I think he just maybe thought it was obvious enough to leave out, or maybe just not relevant, which is fine. But in my experience, it's not obvious to a lot of people. Which is, he says, in the olden days, so chicken nuggets are made with sort of the carcass of the bird, right? The not the prime cuts of meat, but the leftovers, right? Which still have nutritional value, but are not the prime cuts. They're not as expensive, and therefore they're not really useful to be sold as like chicken breasts or chicken legs or thighs or whatever, right? You're gonna not be able to sell a carcass generally in a store, but they are leftovers from the meat processing process. And if you want to get money out of that, if you want to maximize your profits, then blending that up into sludge and putting it into chicken nuggets is a pretty good way to do that. And in the past, in the olden days, what poor people used to do is they would have a whole chicken. They would eat all of the cuts of meat that are easily accessible, and then with the carcass and with all the cartilage and bone and stuff that you can't easily eat or doesn't taste very good, they would make a stock out of it. And that's how they used to do it in the olden days. Guys, you should be doing that now. That hasn't stopped working. Chicken carcasses, you should be buying whole chicken because it's more effective, and using the carcass to make stock to maximize the amount of nutrients you can get out of your chicken, because chicken stock is delicious and nutritious and a byproduct of a bunch of other chicken products that you can make yourself for cheaper than you can buy them pre-made, because labor costs money and processing costs money for companies. So generally something that is more labor intensive is more expensive than the less labor intensive alternative. um, but the trade-off is you have to do that work yourself, right? Which he places as like a, you know, oh well, no one wants to do that. No one wants to cook. No one wants to, cooking is a lot of labor and it's not paid labor, right? This is true. This is a very true point, right? But um, if you are, hard on money, if you don't have much money and you need to get the maximum bang for your buck, uh, it's probably worth considering more labor intensive food options, because they're going to be much cheaper over the long run. You're not going to save a lot of money instantly, right? Like the difference between buying a whole chicken and buying a box of chicken nuggets is a lot, right? But that box of chicken nuggets will last you no time. It's not very much food, whereas you can make many meals from a whole chicken. So overall, the benefit of buying a whole chicken is probably cheaper, depending on where you live and the quality of the chicken and etc. etc. But chicken is fairly cheap. It's cheap meat, but also you don't have to eat as much meat as you're eating probably. Like I like meat. I'm a carnivore, right? But There's nothing like meat is very expensive. Meat is generally the most expensive part of food that you will buy. Um, it doesn't keep for very long. Well, I guess you can put it in the freezer and it keeps forever, which also people underutilize their freezers because again, the two big rules of saving money while cooking are buy and make things in bigger batches, right? That's a good way to save on labor cost or like labor for yourself, right? Is that it doesn't take that much. Let's say you're making a chili con carne or something like that, right? Um, this is a classic move, right? And I think most people do this. I would hope most people do this, but I'm regularly surprised by how few people actually do this. Um, it doesn't take it takes almost the exact same amount of labor to make a single portion of chili con carne as it does to make a giant portion of chili con carne, because those sorts of dishes were generally invented to be made by uh, a, the stay at home component of the family in the olden days, back before feminism and all that good stuff. uh, when the families had one sort of breadwinner or one person who did all the home labor for free without being paid for it, right? They would prepare all the food for the family, and so you could make a really big portion if you were just a mum or whatever while your husband was out working. You could cook for the whole family. They tend to take a lot of time because that's the environment they were designed for, right? Uh, but the thing is, there are days even when we have a lot of time on the weekend when you're not working, you can cook a big portion of chili con carne or ragu or similar. They're basically the same thing, or meatballs or any of these sorts of big family dishes. Italian food has a lot of it. Uh, you can cook a big portion, right? And it's cheaper to buy this stuff in bulk normally. And that way, you only have to do the work once, and then you just make a bunch of portions of it. You have one then, and you put the rest in the freezer, and it will keep for months and months and months. And then, if you ever are lazy and you can't be bothered to cook food, as is often the case, because cooking food is, as explained previously, a lot of labor and effort, which and not just in cooking it, but also in prep and in cleanup time. It's a lot of labor to make a meal. It makes sense to do as much of that in one setting as possible. That way, you can just reheat whatever you have in the freezer, and you get an effortless, very labor cheap uh, meal for the night. Right? That's the good way to do things. Uh, Now, like, it is more expensive to buy more things, but generally, you can save money that way. So that's basically the two rules of cheap food is maximum. Let's say three. You know what? Let's go with three rules. Three rules for cheap food consumption. Maximize your use of the product. So don't throw away the carcass of your bird. Right. Make a stock out of it. These sorts of things. Right. That's number one. Number two, make big batches and store them. Right. Because it's generally cheaper to buy big batches of ingredients rather than smaller batches of finished products. And three, uh, yeah, do that. I forgot what the third one is. But yeah, that's a thing that wasn't really mentioned in the video. I don't know. I guess he's not trying to give people financial advice, but I am. I'm trying to give people financial advice because you can easily make cheap and good food, and it's better and cheaper than McDonald's. Don't people? I don't see why people don't realize that fast food is expensive, really expensive, like absurdly expensive compared to the equivalent you could make at home. It is less effort. You don't pay. Yeah, it's not cheap food. The thing you're paying for isn't this. It's like a meme that has been spread in Americans' minds or something, right? Fast food is not cheap food, right? It's it's expensive food because you're paying extra for the the luxury of having your food arrive very quickly and having it be easy to eat and stuff like that, right? That's a luxury product. Um, it has been memed into, psyoped into popular culture as the opposite of that, as a non-luxury product, but it is not that. Remember that fast food is often fairly uses fairly relatively expensive ingredients, right? Like a typical fast food is like a burger. A burger is a big slab of beef. Beef is very expensive, right? It has cheese. Cheese is fairly expensive. It has, you know, um, individual buns, which are a fairly expensive type of bread, depending obviously on their quality. But uh, this is there you go. Right? That's a fairly expensive meal compared to, you could take that same amount of beef that you would make into a burger and stretch it much to make more meals if it had other things in it, right? Like pasta. You know, that's what pasta is basically for. It's for taking the you take the expensive ingredient, which is normally the meat, the protein, and then you stretch it out with carbs and vegetables so that you know, you save money. That's what all of these meals are invented for. The burgers are not that. Burgers have, you know, then they're mostly a big slab of expensive meat made by a lot of labor, because they're therefore they're luxury. Fast food is a luxury product, but it's marketed as not a luxury product. It's marketed as a working class cheap food, because you know, I don't know why. It, it's a well, because then people think they're spending their money well, I guess. To convince people that they're spending their money well, to convince people who can't really, don't have much experience cooking for themselves, maybe. I don't know. I don't really know. But chicken nuggets are great. I love a good chicken nugget, and if I was going to eat chicken nuggets, I would not make them myself. But if I just wanted to eat chicken, that would not be my go-to. Kefir. This is fermented milk. Not traditional kefir. This is very middle class Western kefir. Firstly, it's cow's milk instead of goat's or sheep's milk. Secondly, it has coconut milk in it and fucking uh like fucking apple juice. But the most important thing is that it has good fucking bacteria in it, and it's all about your gut bacteria. Now, I am skeptical of how much fermented food and bacteria you ingest actually stays in your gut. I've read mixed reports on how effective it is, but I figure it can't do any harm. So I am now going to drink some of this very fermented milk. Oh, it smells fermented-y, and it smells also like coconut because it has a lot of coconut milk in it, but it kind of smells like yogurt. It smells like yogurt with coconut milk in it, which is kind of what it is. It tastes a lot like yogurt. A bit more like very, a bit more fermented-y than yogurt, and a lot of coconut, and a bit of acid, which I believe would be the apple juice and concentrated grape juice, which is in here. I'm not sure why that's in there. Oh, it also has lactic acid in it. Yeah, I can taste the acidity. It just tastes like yogurt, really. Um, but it's very good. It's actually quite nice. I can taste the lovely little buggers that are gonna help me out. The friends. I can taste the friends in here. There are friends in this drink. That's a thick fucking drink. I should have had that for breakfast. I'm gonna stop now. I'm not just gonna chug this much kefir. But that should have been my breakfast instead of a big fucking disgusting plate of way too much bacon and fried eggs. That was not the healthiest breakfast in the world. Okay, so the more I am forced to use Raspbian, the more I hate this fucking operating system. But I really cannot be fucked to install another operating system right now. I just want this to work at all. This is not, by the way, anything that I wanted to happen. I've got DVTM sort of almost working. Not really, though. That's like the only thing I've actually managed to do. Couldn't install ST. There's a bunch of dependencies. I mean, I probably could do it, but can I quit this? There's no I've actually fucked it. There's no way to quit this. There's no. Can I exit? There we go. There's something's happened. Can I do? There we go. Okay, we're out. We're out of the console. Fine, the terminal. Right. So we've got DVTM installed. We do not have a proper window manager installed. Honestly, I wouldn't mind using this window manager too bad. It's not ideal. I think this is like LX or something. I don't actually know. You know what? I can screen fetch. Let's find out. LXD, yeah. It's fine. It's not my favorite, but you know, it's not like unusable. And since this is a computer that I'm going to have a mouse plugged into to even use, like one of the big reasons that I want a tiling window manager on my laptop is the screen's really small, and the mouse is not particularly ideal, right? So I want to do everything keyboard style, and I want it to all fill up the maximum space. This is a big monitor. Look, just compare the two. Like, yeah, hold on. Like, the ThinkPad is pretty tiny compared to this monitor. So the filling maximizing screen space, not as much of a big deal on this computer. And mouse, again, I just have an actual mouse plugged in, which is quite nice, or I suppose. So here's the thing, right? And also you can do this. You can do undecorate, and then it actually looks nice, right? And you can still move stuff around. You just have to be holding down Alt, which is how it works in floating mode on this computer as well. So that's nice. And now look, I now have something that looks cool. You could just do a terminal as well, and everything's good. So that's fine. I'm not. I don't have to install BSPWM or whatever, right? I can survive without it. This terminal, however, whatever the fuck terminal this is, I genuinely do not know what terminal it is, but whatever it is, I don't like it. I want to get rid of it. ST has, you know, for a piece of suckless software, a bunch of fucking dependencies. Now, I assume that these would normally just be things that would be installed on your system, but for some reason they're not. And some of them fucking aren't even on the fucking, like if I cd st then sudo make install, it's going to give me an error. This is the third error. This is the third consecutive different error because I don't have this hb.h. So now I have to find what the fucking hb.h is, which is a bit of a pain. I think, oh no, I know what HB. It's Halfbuzz, which is a program for rendering text in a specific way, but it's not on. It's not like in the repositories. So I need to find it on like GitHub or whatever, and hopefully that's the last error I get. I can use ST maybe. Well, this Halfbuzz program does not want to compile on my system. Can I do this? Wait a minute. If I log out, right? There's no option to just be in a terminal. Oh, for fuck's sake. What I've done is I've set it to boot to terminal, so I'm gonna reboot the Raspberry Pi, and just use it. I'm not gonna start X. I'm just gonna because this this, oh, if it just boots without starting eggs, that's preferable to, you know, having to use some bullshit, especially if DVTM decides to work. There we go. And now I can. Was that it? Wasn't it like control? Was that it? I forget how to use this program. What? Okay. It was. I swear, wasn't it like Control G as the default, and then C to open a new thing? No. I'm forgetting how to do this. Yes, Control G is the default mod, right? If I do Control G, but this doesn't work. Control G and then C. Hey! Okay, this just decided not to work 5 times in a row or whatever. There we go. And now I can do like Control G and then I physically cannot reach there. Hold on. Control G 2 and now I'm here. Can I type clear? No. Can I type Bombadillo? Do I not have that installed? I thought I did. Okay. Well, I mean, here we are. Do I have like W3M installed? No. Can't find term cap entry DVTM. Don't know what that means. But look, see, X is below or whatever. Look, you see how cool that is? I think it's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure I'm in actual hell right now, trying to install dependencies so I can try and install dependencies so I can try and get ST to work for no reason. So I know what I did wrong, but now I have to fucking undo the thing that I did wrong, and that's gonna be a pain. So what I did, I have to install Go basically to compile a thing, right? I have to install a Go compiler. The problem being, like a fucking idiot, I installed the wrong one for the architecture of the Raspberry Pi. I installed AMD 64 for some reason. I looked at it as I was typing it out and I thought, that can't be right. Fuck it, I'm sure it'll work. What am I, why did I, why? There's no way that's gonna work. So now I have to try and fucking, I don't know what, I guess what do I do? Okay, I guess I go to where I installed Go. I just sudo rm-rf or whatever, the whole thing, and then try again. Will that work? I think that'll work. I have to. I don't know. I don't know if it'll work. Let's find out. I did it. I did the thing I wanted to do, which was install Bombadillo. Apparently, I actually forgot. I spent so long installing a dependency because the tutorials that I was reading, well, because I made the stupid fucking mistake of clicking the first result on Google, which you should just never do. I don't know why I clicked the first result, but I clicked the first result and it was a stupid tutorial, and then I looked for other tutorials and they were much better, and I could instantly tell they were much better because the commands they were using made way more sense. You know, I'm not an advanced bash user, right? But I saw the efficiency in the bash command things that I was using. So I now have Bombadillo installed, which is a very based fucking what is this thing called? TVTM. DVTM. I always fucking forget. There we go. So now I can hopefully my idea is I can run Bombadillo in one fucking window, and there we go. Now I can browse all my Geminis and all my fucking Gophers, because that's what this machine is gonna be for. It's gonna be for Geminis. It's gonna be for Gophers. It's gonna be for W3Ms. It's gonna be for Gomux. I'm gonna do all of it in the terminal. I don't need a fucking GUI. I don't need a fucking GUI, bitch. Fuck a GUI. I was trying to beat a fucking case, bitch. Right? And that's what the fuck I'm here for, motherfucker. I'm here to fucking browse fucking gopher holes, stupid bitch. Right? And Bombadillo is a pretty cool terminal gopher and Gemini place. So now I can, I can just fucking go here, and here I am on vortex.club, and I'm reading all the vortex.club things. Not really. Where is it? Online direct questions. To join. Oh, I don't want to join. Fuck off. Take me to somewhere useful. Uh, 9. Take me there. Anything interesting here? Gem logs. Yeah, not what I want. Let's go back. Let's go with Spacewalk. At least I know that one's good, I think. There we go. And now I can go on midnight.pub, which I know is a good place, and I'm finally here. And then I can finally actually I don't want to be on midnight.pub. I want to be could be anywhere. Could be anywhere I wanted. Could go on fucking idiom Drotning. I could look at fucking any of these things, but none of them are good. Come on, I just want something good, so I can show that I could be on good things. Yeah, midnight.pub. Fuck it, we're going there. We're going fucking here. Fucking here, and there we are. Oops. And I can't read it because it's rendering wrong. So, oh no, it's I can. It's not actually going off the end. It's just wrapping. That's fine. This is all fine. And then over here, now I have to try and get Gomux installed or something, or I don't know. I don't know what I plan to do. I don't really need. Can I? Isn't it like X to close this or something? I don't know any of the code of the things for this. Yeah, I was right. Sometimes it just doesn't like working. Not sure why. There we go. I don't know what that was about, but there we go. I can read all my All the things about the Cowboy Bebop Netflix with live action revival. Look, it's just like this is the internet that I'm on right now. This is what it was supposed to be. It's supposed to take you 10 hours to fucking compile whatever. It shouldn't have taken me as long as... You ever get so frustrated with everything that you just decide, fuck it, I'm going headless like a fucking French aristocrat during the revolution? You ever just say fuck it and go guillotine mode? That's what MC Ride was talking about, by the way. MC Ride was talking about my Raspberry Pi. This is neat, right? Like, I feel like, you know, you can do a lot of stuff with a headless system, and I might just uninstall all of the graphic. I mean, I might not. I might not do that, but I might. You can't stop me. Look, I opened a new thing for some reason. I'm just gonna type MPV. I don't know why. I'm just gonna do it, and no one can stop me. I don't want to know what happens if I try and launch MPV without X running. I assume it's gonna give me some sort of error, but I don't have any videos downloaded on this Raspberry Pi, and YouTube DL doesn't work. So we're not gonna do that. We're gonna just I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna sudo apt get. Oops, actually, I don't think you need get anymore. Maybe you never did. We're going to install W3M, even though I thought I already had it installed, but apparently not. I just have W3M. No, I already have it. What? Oops. Can't find term cap entry DVTM. See, this is what I need to fix. You know what? I'll look it up. You know what? I give up. I give up on this. I'm just going to install another operating system. Anything is better than this. I can't make this usable. I'm just going to install something, maybe a BSD of some kind, maybe a minimal Arch install, but not today. I spent enough time fucking with shit. Literally all I want is just like a few terminal windows open with a couple of programs running. That's all I want. Is that so hard? But no. Life has to be difficult. Because I bought the starter kit Raspberry Pi instead of just a plain one where I installed things myself, because it was ages ago before I knew I was doing Linux. And well, actually, it's not even why. It's because I bought it in a shop. Remember when remember those physical shops? Bought it in a shop. It was after I'd been to band practice one day, and I was coming back from band with me and my friend were we're walking around near the band practice place, and there was a computer store. And we went in there just to fuck around, and I saw a Raspberry Pi, and I thought, those are cool. I'll just buy one. I have the money right now, and so I bought it on a whim, and I never really used it for anything. But yeah, that one just came with Raspbian pre-installed. Now I'm sure I can just, I don't know. I guess. You know what I mean? You know what I'm getting at here? No, no one knows what I'm getting at here. Check out my new jumper. I think it looks pretty nice and it's comfy. It's actually, as you can see from the fact that it's very long, I actually got it in XXL for enhanced comfiness. Because you see that is the essence of comfy right there. Um, I think it's pretty good. You know, this is what I'm all about. This is my aesthetic. You know, I just have this idea for an aesthetic, but I don't know how to communicate it best. Like, I think it's communicated best in montage. I think I'm gonna make a montage. Anyway, that's the end of this video, I think. There is one rant that I want to go on, but I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to save it for the end of a really long video so that almost no one sees it, because it's a bit of a cringe rant. But it's a rant that I need to get off my chest. Not doing it now, so don't worry. I'm not going to be fucking with my Raspberry Pi today at all. We're leaving that alone. We're dealing with that some other time. But I do know what I am going to be doing today, which you will see will probably be my next video. Actually, I might not make a video out of it. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I will make a video out of it. I'll make a laying around watching about it, which is I'm going to be watching about 8 or 9 hours of anime today. Yeah. Enjoy yourself. Remember, one day you will die, and so will everyone you love. Everything in the universe is transient, including your life, all the good times, all the bad times. They're all transient. Remember that. And